Ahoy there Nooklings, welcome back to the Nook vlog. It is Wednesday and it is the 23rd of April. I didn't record anything yesterday. It's been a bit tricky. As I mentioned at the end of the last vlog, my wrist did start hurting towards the end of last week and it's still not great, so I'm just trying to go easy with stuff that I do, not overdo it and make it worse. And it's also been a bit of a week already because on Monday, whilst in the middle of cooking dinner, the oven died. So that was not fun. Fortunately, it did get fixed yesterday, but it meant that we had to throw out all the food from Monday because it was half cooked. So, you know, it wasn't salvageable in any way, which is a real shame because I hate wasting food, especially with something like that, because we were having roast dinner and it was a whole chicken, because what we do is once it's been cooked we will then use it for other dinners later in the week, but obviously we couldn't do that. So yeah, that was a real pain. Fortunately there was a takeaway open, so we were just able to go get that because it was bank holiday Monday here in the UK and a lot of places were closed early because of it. But yeah, we were very fortunate to actually be able to get something to eat, because most of what we got in the house was either in the freezer or it was stuff that had to be cooked in the oven. But as I said, all fixed now. Yeah, just such a relief that it was an easy fix. So for today, what I've got to do is I've got an intro to record and an outro for the next art video, but I want to do the intro, the voiceover, and then the outro. Normally, like particularly with the vlogs, I will do the intro and the outro and then record the voiceover, but this time I don't want to do it that way. And that will probably be it. Like I said, resting my wrist, so there's not a huge amount I can do art wise. As annoying as that is, it just is one of those. But interestingly, I did just watch the Aaron Blazes video on wrist pain and how to avoid it whilst drawing, so I am going to start implementing that sort of stuff. You know, it's a shame it's not been taught in schools because it's so important to look after your body, but if you don't know how to, then you know it's not going to help. You know, I've always known I sat badly, got bad posture, but I'm working to fix that as well. Just one thing at a time, and I'm still doing my hand exercises, so hopefully it won't last too much longer. We shall just see, but I'm gonna stop waffling and let's get into today. It is Friday, and I don't know why on Wednesday I said let's get into today, because I knew I wasn't going to be recording anything, but that's by the by. Been busy already this morning. Main thing was I've gone way past the 25,000 word count for the book. Probably did a bit more today than I should have because of my wrist still isn't great. It's much better, but it's still twinging. But you know, I was in the zone, so you know, what can you do? I also need to re-record the voiceover I did on Wednesday because I hadn't realised I hadn't actually edited the footage, so nothing I said was going to line up with the footage. So yeah, I'm going to do that. Hopefully record the outro as well for that video so I can get it scheduled to upload to YouTube probably tomorrow for that one. And then I can get into editing Monday's vlog. So yeah, that's the update for today. There may or may not be some footage, we shall see. But if not, I shall catch up with you tomorrow. It is Saturday and we just rescued a sparrow that got caught in our stairwell. I'll flick up an image of that so you can see what it looks like, because I don't know how well I'll explain it. So basically the stairs up to our flat are sort of half enclosed and there's a window at the top, however that's with the level of the bottom of the stairs, so that makes it extremely difficult to actually access that window. And she just got stuck up there. I didn't record any of it because one thing that kind of annoys me with those kind of videos is, why aren't you helping? Why are you just recording? And yeah, it's nice to see these things being done, but in this instance, you know, we knew it was going to take both of us anyway to do it. But you know, it did take several attempts because she was getting stressed out, and we didn't want to, you know, end up causing her to have a heart attack and die that way. So we would leave her every so often, and like, she could fly, and she was flying up to the front door. Yeah, but she was also just getting confused by the window and trying to get out through the window rather than going down and out. In the end, what Jay was able to do was he was able to block the light from the window, and then try once again to capture her, and she just flew straight down. So obviously blocking the light out helped a great deal, and he was able to borrow ladders from a neighbour because we don't have that kind of ladder. We don't need it. You know, we've got a tiny little thing that I use in the kitchen because, as I said, I'm only 5'2" and sometimes I just need to. So yeah, that was our morning so far. What I do need to do, however, is the thumbnail for the art video that's going out tonight. I have just had a bath, that's why I'm looking a bit red. It was a nice hot bath because back, as I mentioned, my back is better, but it's still not great. And just yesterday at work, it just got quite painful. So I just thought, you know what, I've got work again today. I'm going to have another hot soak in the bath and just relax. And yeah, hopefully that would make everything better. Yeah, and we've also got one of these massage ball thingies. So we'll be using that as well because I have got a knot there, not just pulled muscle. So that's been fun. But yeah, I'm going to get the thumbnail done, and so that's already scheduled to go out tonight, that video, and I've already started editing Monday's vlog. I hope it will be ready for Monday. It may not go out till Tuesday, we'll just see. I've got a lot going on this coming week, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. So I am going to get on with the rest of the day, and I will catch you tomorrow. It is Sunday, and after what I said yesterday, I've actually completely deleted the video. Just once I'd scheduled it and allowed things to sort of settle, I just had a better idea for the video. Like, it will stay pretty much, the footage will stay as it is, but instead of doing it as an art video, I just thought it'd be better as one of my world building videos. So what I'm going to do is like redo the voiceover, edit it maybe slightly differently, maybe add another piece of artwork in with it as well. That bit I haven't fully figured out, but I will get to that later on down the line. So obviously there wasn't an art video out yesterday. What I'm going to do instead is schedule the next Pokemon video for Thursday, which I think just needs me to do a thumbnail and obviously upload it to YouTube, which I'll probably start that process in a bit. There's a piece of art I want to get finished today if I can, if the tablet behaves itself. You know, I've already done my writing for the morning, done some editing, been watching some informational videos on YouTube. When I say this, it's usually other creators who are doing a similar thing to what I'd like to do. And it was actually really interesting because I've been watching Bailey J for a few years now, and another artist that has cropped up, you know, I've heard the name before, is Catnip, but I've never watched any of her videos, and two came up in my YouTube feed, I think one last night and one this morning. One was how to succeed at small business or something like that, and the other was closing her studio. And yeah, I just found it really interesting, and you know, it's always really good to see that an artist realizes which direction they need to be going in. You know, I've learnt that for myself. I'm doing it slowly in the way that I need to do it. I know I need to still get better with my time management. I am working on it. I didn't do a schedule for last week because of various injuries, so yeah, that wasn't going to happen, and I was still resting my wrist most of last week, but I don't know if I'm going to do one for this week because it is a very busy week, but I've only got a couple of days where I can actually do any of my creative stuff that I'd normally do. So yeah, I'm probably not going to do a schedule for this week because that then to me feels like a waste of the sheet. What I'll probably actually end up doing is my old style of putting it all on a post-it note of the things I want to get done that day, just to make life a little bit easier. So I'm gonna stop waffling and I'm going to get into today. is Monday, and I didn't realise how little I'd actually recorded last week, but most of that, like I said, is down to the fact that my wrist has still been painful. I say my wrist. Most recently, neighbour's dog. It's been here, down in my palm. So it does make things a bit tricky to do, but I need to crack on today. Already had a busy morning. It is 2:10. Done writing. Haven't done any editing yet because I needed to focus on that. Needed a bit more concentration than I normally have, and I've got thumbnails to do. I'm going to finish the digital image I was working on yesterday. Hopefully, if my hand is okay, I'm going to do a bit of traditional drawing as well, but we shall see. So let's get into today. I was just editing this vlog and realised I never actually recorded an ending for it, so that's what this is. Yeah, another short one. Next week's is probably going to be short as well. I apologise for the computer running in the background. I'm about to do the thumbnail for this video, but thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you Nooklings later.